A salesman named Bimaz is shown in the beginning of the film. In a village he was bidding for animals. He tells the public that these animals work a lot, but they don't have brains. So he has brought some new animals for them. After that, Bemuse's friends Shank and Oli bring the animals in. These animals were called Thorfantes, and they were a cross between elephants and horses. Later, they bring Thorfinn, named Mosley, to the stage. Everyone is shocked when they learn that animals can communicate. Bemuse invites them to bid on him. Mosley becomes concerned and asks his mother what is happening. Even his mother doesn't know anything. Thus he bid and Mosley was sold. They take on Mosley and the next scene is shown 25 years later. Mosley has grown up. It turns out that the Mosleys have a family. He is married to Bara and has a 5-year-old son named Rue. It turns out that a man named Simon bought Mosley. He used to work a lot with Mosley. The man is angry and cruel. But Mosley does not give up on taking care of his family. It did everything. The innocent salesman is shown again who sold Mosley. He has an old Thorfinn. Its name was Turpin. Mosley's family has known Turpin for a long time. Bemuse agrees to buy land near Simon, asking him to bid on Rue in exchange for the land. Mosley arrives and tells Simon that it is a deserted land. Nothing good, but Simon beats up Mosley and requests that he leave. Now Bara was pregnant. While celebrating the child's happiness at night, Mosley's son says it has seen a strange place. This tells Mosley to go there. Mosley was tired. Bara tells Mosley to accompany Rue to the place. Rue and Mosley walk and meet some fireflies along the way. They reach the cave with them. Arriving there, Mosley saw Thorfinn's drawings on the cave. The strange thing is that those Thorfantes were standing on their feet, were working by hand. Mosley remembers what Turpin said when he saw him, saying many years ago that all Thorfinn could talk on his 2 feet. They remain in an upright position. Turpin has told them how many Thorfantes traveled north to escape the humans. The survivors were enslaved by humans. The Thorfinns still hope that the honest Thorfinn will come to save them. Many Thorfinns think they have forgotten them. After all this, Mosley returns with Rue. It also tells Bara to Rue to stay away from all this. Don't put such things in his mind. While conversing, they hear the voices of Simon and Bemuse speaking. They overhear Simon telling Bemuse that he will sell the Rue when the new baby arrives, now that he is up for it. Bara tells Mosley, please do something. It also says, I think only the honest can save us. The next day, Simon brings Mosley to the new farm to plow as he starts plowing. If so, the ground appears rocky. The plow breaks as a result of which Mosley falls to the ground, but Simon catches her here. He also pushed her, but the plow broke. Simon then becomes furious. Mosley appears, furious, and resolves to save his family. It tells Rue that it is going in search of Erdva. This tells him to take care of his mother. Later she runs towards the forest and goes to that cave. Simon and several others proceed in search of Mosley. But they couldn't find it. Simon returned angrily and closed Bara and Rue's shed, so they will not run away from there. Bemuse informs Simon that he will be looking for someone who can bring Mosley back. Later, Bemuse brings a dangerous hunter to Warfield. Rue understands that her father is in danger seeing the hunter. Rue secretly leaves the place to save his father. Turpin stops it and says that your mother needs you. You should stop here. On the other hand, the hunter Warfield goes into the woods. To bring back Mosley, Bemuse sends Shank and Oli after him, so he will know how to capture Theophant. Proceeding into the cave, Mosley gets trapped in the ditch. Meanwhile, Warfield also arrives. Mosley understands that this was his trap. Shank and Oli also reach the cave. Oli also falls into the trap. Using Ollie's support, Mosley escapes from the trap. It moves on, running away from the Warfield. When Mosley comes out of the cave, he sees the water falling. Seeing back that Warfield was still following him, Mosley runs ahead, but he slips and falls down. It notices that Warfield was still behind it. Mosley falls unconscious when he wakes up and finds himself in a cave behind a waterfall. It notices that it is a palace-like place. Mosley hears some voices that he secretly observes and thinks someone is watching him. It turns out that these are uprights. Mosley believes that the paintings in the cave were accurate. Those bulges also look to Mosley. When they come to it, their names were Warney, Dever and Glyn. Dever tells Mosley that it did not know that the other Thorfantes were outside Mosley, asking him, what are they doing here? It is said that Jelen has seen some fireflies in dreams at night. After this they all come here and Mosley tells them about his problem. It states that they will have to come with their army to save them from humans. They confide in Mosley and take Mosley to his island. On the way they tell Mosley how many tasks he can accomplish with his own hands. On the other hand, Warfield is shown to have reached this castle, causing Mosley. While walking they reach a forest. They name it the Great Orchid. Warney explains that behind this forest is his city. Varney tells Mosley that they cannot go to this forest, because they are unclean. There is a Thorfinn tree. A guardian is guarding it. I don't know why that parent is so upset with all of them. Thorfinn never returns from that forest. Mosley discovers a cave under the forest. Mosley says we will cross this cave. In such a situation, we will not need to go inside the forest. They all believe in Mosley. As they walk, all the trees bow down, they return, saving their lives. After that, they move on a long way. They stop to spend the night in a cave. Rue, on the other hand, is shown helping her mother. This job was also learning while taking care of it. Turpin was also present, and he tells Rue it will be here until its father returns. Galen, on the other hand, runs after some fireflies. The other three go after him to stop it. Warfield also arrived here. Mosley tells them that Warfield has been following him for a long time. Glyn tells Mosley to believe in Firefly and they jump off the cliff. Varney and Deaver believe they are dead. With this, they turn upside down through the Firefly while flying. Then Deaver and Warney also jump in and fly through the Firefly and walk away, just as they escape from the Warfield. Caused by fireflies, Mosley happily arrives and enters the city. Mosley is shocked to see all this. How were all Thorfinns living like humans? It is a pleasure. Now it will save its family. Its happiness soon turns into anxiety. It notices that all Thorfinn is out of date here. Warney claims that no one has been born for a long time. It's all because of the curse of the Great Orchid. It tells that all Thorfinn is living the last moments of their life. Mosley then becomes depressed, contemplating returning to his family. Varney tells it to stay for one more day, because we are also like your family. The Queen will be glad to meet you. Bemuse, on the other hand, finds a good deal on Turpin. He comes to get Turpin. Rue was sad as Turpin was leaving. Turpin tells Rue not to be sad. Your father will return soon, but until he returns, you must be as strong as your father. Bemuse tells Simon that he will be back soon when the new baby arrives to pick up Rue. It's time for Barat to have kids. On the other hand, Mosley meets the Queen and sees that the castle is behind the orchid. Ronnie says that at first she is not aware of it. She will help him at any cost. When the Queen said this, all Thorfinn was ready. That we will go with you. Meanwhile, an old Thorfinn walks in, terrified to say that a human has entered their town. That man was Warfield. All Thorfinn tells Warfield to return. But in return, Warfield injures Glyn. The other Thorfantas take Glyn in. Glyn tells Mosley to believe in Firefly. You have to follow them. Next, Mosley sees some Firefly on the throne. It hits an idea. This tells everyone to hide. He wants Warfield to run into the Great Orchid following him. The Queen tells him that the curse will go away if she eats the fruit of that tree. The Queen tells him how he has to beware of that guardian, because the parents do not want anyone to come near that tree. As planned, Mosley takes Warfield to the woods. It fights Warfield with all its might. After some time, it throws Warfield. Just then, Mosley sees some fireflies he was calling near the pure tree. Mosley runs towards the pure tree, but Warfield strikes him again. This time Mosley fell badly. Warfield believes that he will ruin Mosley's life. Before he can say anything to Mosley, all the fireflies become warriors. They disappear while picking up Mosley. While pursuing Mosley, Warfield goes inside the woods. After walking some distance, Mosley sees some fireflies. Following them, Mosley approaches the pure tree. Warfield injures Mosley before he can do anything. Mosley believes he has no choice but to fight because of his injuries. Warfield was stuck in the woods forever. All the Thorfinn of the castle suspect that Mosley is dead. Suddenly, Mosley appears with all the fireflies. Firefly heals all Mosley's wounds. Here we find, originally, the guardians of the tree were all those fireflies. Mosley remembers that Firefly was guiding him from the beginning. These fireflies give it the fruit of a pure tree. On the other hand, Rue is shown saying goodbye to her younger sister Rosie and mother as the Bemuse comes to fetch Rue from Simon. This makes Barat sad, but while walking here we see a shadow. That was Mosley. Mosley approaches Simon as he walks like a human. It asks him to leave his family. Simon doesn't listen, and Mosley then shows him his new getup. Rue also runs to see if his father has been released from Bemuse. Mosley sees Rosie, he picks her up and is happy to see her. Later, Mosley feeds his family the pureed fruit. They straighten up after eating the fruit. Mosley and his family are shown relocating to Honest City. This is where the film ends. If you are the first time in this channel, then subscribe the channel.